Hey there, rednecks, preppies, redneck preppies. It's me, the Redneck Preppy. How you doing today? Great? Good. Sometime last year, I was at the range and I was taking a break between strings and happened to be shooting the breeze with the guy in the next bay. And during the conversation, a number of topics came up, and as a result, he asked me a simple question. Had I ever tried shooting with both eyes open? Now, it actually happened to be a coincidence that he had asked me that, because about that time I discovered that I was left eye dominant, but I shoot with my right eye. And adding to that mess, at least for me, was that the vision in my right eye has degraded slightly compared to my left eye. So in response, I had kind of started experimenting with shooting with both eyes open. But why, I hear you ask, would someone not facing these particular issues want to learn to shoot with both eyes open? Well, I'm glad you asked that, because one, that's what this video happens to be about, and two, there are a number of excellent reasons why a shooter would want to adopt the two-eye method, which I shall now enumerate. Firstly, bench rest matches, practices, or just regular shooting sessions can last for hours, and keeping both eyes open prevents the unnatural strain of holding one eye shut for long periods. That relaxed ocular posture, yes, that is a term, reduces eye fatigue, helping the shooter maintain crisp focus on sights, wind flags, and the target over many scoring shots. Next, small, slow changes matter. Wind shifts, a new puff of mirage, or a slight movement of a wind flag. With both eyes open, you preserve peripheral monitoring so that those tiny environmental cues register faster. And that early awareness helps time the shot to a steadier condition rather than reacting after a change is obvious. Another advantage is that it reduces parallax stress through natural alignment. When shooters close one eye, they sometimes, tilt their head or shift cheek weld subtly to force an alignment. Small changes that can affect consistent eye-to-scope geometry. Both eyes open encourages maintaining a neutral, repeatable head position because the shooter isn't compensating to block the non-dominant eye, which supports more consistent repeatability shot to shot. Magnified scopes can intensify eye strain, especially when one eye is closed and the other one is forced to do all of the work. Letting both eyes share visual processing reduces the load on the aiming eye alone, decreasing the chance of tiredness-induced small errors over a string of precision shots. Accurate shooting hinges on repeatable geometry between shooter and rifle. Closing one eye often produces subtle shifts in head tilt or body position to get a, better sight picture. Keeping both eyes open encourages a stable, natural cheek weld with fewer unconscious adjustments, supporting mechanical consistency. And finally, another good reason is that small equipment issues, a micro lag in the rest, a hairline drift in the rear bag, or a tiny slippage, may manifest visually in the periphery before being obvious center mass. And with both eyes open, you're more likely to notice those subtle cues early rather than after several shots. That's plenty of good reasons, and there are far more, but I think I've made my case. And you're probably demanding that I get to the damn point. How to do it? Well, here we go. Okay, your first step is to identify your dominant eye. Now, before anything else, you need to determine which eye naturally aligns with your point of aim. And to test it, extend your arms and form a small triangular opening. Focus on a distant object, okay? And slowly bring your hands back while maintaining that object in the center of the triangle. Where it ends up will align naturally with your dominant eye. And in my case, it's the left. And that's the eye that should stay behind your sight or scope. And knowing this, ensures that you're not fighting your brain's natural alignment when shooting with both eyes open. Now, having said that, I know that shooting with your dominant eye when it's opposite from your normal eye is a non-starter for most because it feels so abnormal. I personally cannot do it regardless how much I try. Step 2 is now you begin without a rifle. Start by practicing focus and alignment without a firearm. Pick a small thing across the room, like a light switch, and with both eyes open, use your dominant eye to aim at it by pointing a finger or a pen towards that spot, okay? You'll likely notice a double image at first. The trick is to consciously focus on the target with your dominant eye and let the other eye relax. And over time, your brain learns to suppress the secondary image and prioritize the sight picture correctly. Step 3 is dry fire with optics or iron sights. Next, move to your unloaded rifle in a safe environment. Shoulder the rifle as normal and look through your optic or sights with both eyes open. You're going to experience some confusion or visual clutter early on. The key is to maintain a natural head position and let your brain adjust. Now, with red sights or holographic optics, the process is faster. The illuminated reticle should appear to float naturally on the target, even with both eyes open. Now, for scopes, though, you may need to back off slightly to avoid that tunnel vision and give your brain more visual context from both eyes. Step 4 is now to begin training with slow, deliberate shots. Go to the range, start close, 25 yards or less, and shoot slowly. Focus on maintaining both eyes open through the shot. Now, your initial groups may widen slightly as your visual system adapts. Don't rush though. Accuracy comes back quickly once the brain learns to prioritize the dominant eye's image. As comfort increases, extend your distance and introduce small transitions between targets to reinforce peripheral awareness. Step 5 is to practice scanning and transitions. Once you can hold a steady sight picture with both eyes open, start to integrate movement into it. After each shot, keep your head up and use both eyes to scan for the next target or observe your environment. This reinforces the habit of situational awareness, one of the main advantages of shooting with both eyes open. And finally, step 6, be patient and consistent. The adjustment does not happen overnight. It can take several sessions for your brain to rewire its visual processing, especially if you've always closed one eye. Stay consistent, practice short sessions regularly, and give your vision time to adapt. Eventually, keeping both eyes open will feel natural, effortless, and more stable than forcing the one eye closed. And with enough repetition, you'll notice faster target acquisition, reduced fatigue, and a smoother, more natural shooting experience, all from letting both eyes do what they were built to do. And there you go. With enough practice, shooting with both eyes open will become just as natural as the traditional one-eyed method, except you'll have a number of advantages that you didn't have before. At any rate, I hope you found today's video at least be vaguely entertaining and mildly informative. As always, I hope all your trips to the range are fun and productive. Take care, and bye-bye.